Hi everyone. Today's storytime book is Peppa in Space. Peppa in Space. It is a sunny day. Peppa is taking her bouncy ball outside. George and his friend Edmund Elephant are playing with their space toys. They are pretending that they are on the moon. Mummy and Daddy Pig have an idea. There is a show at the museum about the moon and space. They all go to see it. But Peppa is nervous. She doesn't want to go to the moon. Will we really have to go to the moon? Peppa asks. No, Peppa, Daddy Pig says. We're not going to the moon. We're going to the museum. Mrs. Rabbit gives Mummy Pig 5 tickets. Enjoy your trip to the moon, Mrs. Rabbit says. Peppa is confused. She thought that they were only going to the museum, not the moon. Then Mr. Rabbit leads Peppa and her family into a rocket ship. Peppa thinks it looks real. Mr. Rabbit even puts on a helmet like a real astronaut. But Mr. Rabbit reminds her that it's only pretend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! On the first stop of the tour, Mr. Rabbit explains that there are 8 planets that go around the sun: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Peppa and everyone she knows live on Earth. Some planets are made of rock, some planets are made of ice, and some planets are made of gas. The next stop on the tour is a big room with a moon. If this were the real moon, you could jump over my head, Mr. Rabbit says. Gravity is what keeps us on the ground. It is weaker on the moon, so you can jump higher. Peppa is impressed. Mr. Rabbit straps everyone into anti-gravity rubber bands. Then they bounce high into the air as if they were on the moon. It is a lot of fun. Say moon cheese, Mrs. Rabbit says as she snaps a photo. Moon cheese, everyone cheers. The tour is over, but Peppa still has many questions. Are there trees on the moon? She asks. No, Mr. Rabbit answers. Are there any cars on the moon? Peppa asks. No, Mr. Rabbit answers. Are there any moon shops? Peppa asks. No. That would be silly. Peppa and her family and Edmund enter the museum shop. Welcome to the moon shop, says Mrs. Rabbit. The moon shop sells many things. Daddy Pig buys a piece of moon cheese. The moon is very tasty, he says. But the moon is not really made of cheese. It is made of rock. Mrs. Rabbit holds out a photo. Here is a photo of piggies on the moon with an elephant, she says. Everyone giggles. They like the picture. Peppa, George, Edmund, Mummy Pig, and Daddy Pig have all had a fun day at the museum and in space. The end. Well, that was a fun story, and now it's time for us to make some moon dough. It's kind of like Play-Doh. So let's head over to the art table and I'll show you how. For art today, we're going to make moon dough, which is kind of like Play-Doh. So the first thing that we're going to do is take 1 cup of flour and put it in a bowl. It doesn't matter what kind of flour. Take 1 cup. Okay, and then next, we're going to put in 1/2 cup of salt. Okay, that goes into the bowl. And I'm just going to mix that around just a little bit. And then into the bowl, I'm going to put 1/2 cup of water. So it's 1 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of salt, 1/2 cup of water. Now I'm going to move the camera so you can see inside the bowl. All right, so we're just going to start stirring. Just keep stirring until it starts to form a ball in the middle. See how it's kind of coming together in the middle? Okay, that means that you're done. Okay, so you can start kneading the dough. That means folding it and kind of squeezing it, folding it and squeezing it. If it seems too wet and it starts to stick to your fingers, then just add some more flour. If it seems too crumbly and it's just not staying together very well, then add just a little bit more water. Okay, I think that's just about ready. So you can take it out. And if you want to, you could form it like a circle, kind of like the moon. And then you could take a marker. This is just a regular marker, and you could use the top of the marker to make some craters. I think mine needs a little bit more flour, so let me do that real quick. So it seems a little too sticky. Definitely add some more, and you can knead it some more too. It won't hurt anything to keep kneading it. When you get through playing with your moon dough, you're going to want to store it in something that's airtight, maybe like a Ziploc bag. Here we go, and maybe we can make those moon craters on there so that it looks kind of like the moon. Well, have fun with your moon dough today. Thanks for joining me for story time. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.